so delighted to have Dr. J. Smith here in Kenya. What a wonderful blessing he has been to the body of Christ, just in Kenya, but globally, even as we talk about Islam and reaching out to Muslims with the gospel. So just with Jesus, welcome, and to welcome Daktari. Karibu sana to Kenya.
Asante.
Yeah. My name is Lynette Wahinya. I serve here in Kenya, and we are grateful to have him with us today. So kindly, Daktari, you can introduce yourself to us.
Yes, well, I have come to Kenya not my first time. My wife is actually from Kenya. She was not born here, but she grew up here. And her parents were missionaries here for many years. So I've come with her just as a tourist.
Okay.
To see, to go safaris and to do a wedding here. So this is the first time I've come as in ministry, where I've come to actually teach and preach and also to engage with Muslims. So it's been great. We've been here about 10 days now.
Today we just want to talk about the Quran, which they say it's the holy book for Muslims. How did the Quran come about? Yeah.
Now, I'm going to give you two different stories.
Okay.
I'm going to give you what the Muslims will say and what history says.
Okay.
So I will give you the Quran of faith, that's the Quran of Islam, and then I'll give you the Quran of history. So this is the Quran of history, right? This is the book. You can all see it. I keep it smaller than my Bible so that you know which is the more important. But this is what they say, according to the Quran itself, what Muslims say, this book has always existed. In chapter 85, verse 21 and 22, it says very clearly that this comes the love of Mahfuz, which means the eternal tablets, has always existed uncreated. But it was sent down between 610 and 632, that 22-year period, to a man named Muhammad, who was living first in Mecca from 610 to 622, and then he moved to a city called Medina, northeast of that, from 622 to 632, the last 10 years. That's what they say. That's the Quran of faith. The Quran makes those claims. It says that in chapter 85 that it is eternal. It then says that it is never, since the Quran is eternal, not one word, not one letter can change. That's in chapter 10, verse 15. And in chapter 18, verse 27.
Okay.
So the Quran makes that claim, not Muslims. Well, they have to because the Quran makes it. And then it says the reason no man can change it is because Allah, their God, guards it, protects it, makes sure that no one will change it. Okay. That's in chapter 15, verse 9. So the Quran makes these claims, though Muslims now have to say that. Don't blame the Muslims, they have to say that. That is the Quran of faith.
Okay.
Now, if you ask me, what about this Quran that I have in my hands here? This is not the same Quran that was sent to Muhammad. This is the Quran of history.
Okay.
This is the one that's in our hands. And it's in Arabic here. I have it in English. Not a translation. This is known as the interpretation of the meaning of the Noble Quran, which means it cannot be translated. Now stop and think, sister. Can the Bible be translated?
Yeah. Yes.
Can this book be translated to any language?
Yes, sir.
Absolutely. Why? Because the Bible, though it was written by men, not eternal, it's not eternal. It was written by men. We know who wrote it. We know the names of the men. Many of the books we put their names onto. They're on earth, inspired by God, but written with each one of their abilities, with each one of their backgrounds, with their language abilities, even their expressions, over a period of 1,400 years on 3 different continents. And by about 30 different individuals. So we know the men who wrote it. It is not eternal. We don't make that claim. Thank God we don't make that claim. Now, they would say that this book was complete in 652, so roughly about 20 years after Muhammad. It was written down by a man named Uthman, the caliph at that time. That's the Muhammad of faith. The Quran of faith. But the Quran of history asks one simple question. Prove it. Muslims, prove it. Where is this Quran, you say, that was written finally in 652 during the time of Uthman in a place called Medina by a man named Zayd ibn Thabit, who is a secretary of Muhammad. He was one that wrote it, not Muhammad. It was a secretary who wrote it. You tell me that, and what does he do next? Muslims say that he made 5 copies, left one in Medina, sent one to Mecca, sent one to Basra, sent one to Baghdad, and sent one up to Damascus. 5 cities. So where's one of them? Show me one Quran from any of those 5 cities. Now that's the Quran of history. Muslims say we don't need it. Who cares? We just believe in the Quran of faith.
Yeah.
We believe that there has not been one word, not one letter has been changed. In order to keep its eternality, it cannot have one change. Because if man can manipulate it, if man can interject, if man can put one letter or one word, it's no longer eternal, isn't it? And also suggests that Allah cannot protect it. So you can see why Muslims make a claim that they cannot support. But I want the Quran of history. I want to know where those earliest manuscripts are. We're talking only 1400 years ago.
Yeah.
We have biblical manuscripts go much earlier than that.
Yeah.
We have the Sinaiticus, we have the Alexandrinus, we have the Vaticanus in Rome and in London. You can go see them. They're from the 4th and 5th century. That's 200 to 300 years earlier. They're complete. They're pristine. You can read them.
Yeah.
No one hides them. We claim the claims we claim for them, and then we show our claims. So Muslims, where's your Quran from the 7th century? Just one manuscript. I'm not asking for much, am I? That's the Quran of history. Now the Quran of faith says that in the last intervening 1400 years, there has never been a letter or a word changed. That's what the Muslims say.
Yes.
Yet this Quran that I have in my hand today is known as the Hafs Quran. Why is it known as the Hafs Quran? Because in Nigeria and in North Africa, they have another Quran called the Warsh Quran. The Warsh Quran was written by a man named Warsh who died in 812. This Quran was written by another man whose name Hafs, who died in 796. This man lived in Kufa, which is in Iraq. Warsh lived in Cairo, which is in Egypt. 2 completely different countries, 2 completely different cities. And neither of them ever knew Muhammad. Why? Well, look at the dates. 796, that's 140 years after Muhammad. 812, again, you're talking about the 9th century. Muhammad died in the 7th century, if he exists. But we're not asking about Muhammad today. We're just looking at the Quran. So what's interesting is, those are just 2 of 30 official Qurans. 30 different Arabic Qurans. Not translations, not the interpretations. These are all in Arabic. They were all created by different men. Their names were put to it. Warsh, Hafs, Qalun, Kisai, Asim. I mean, their names, Ibn Kathir. There are 30 of these men who were writing between the 8th, 9th, and 10th century, writing their own Qurans, putting their own dots where they wanted to, putting their own vowels, the Dhamma, the Kasra, and the Fatha, where they wanted to, and claiming it to be the official Quran. They had students that memorized it. And the more students they had, the more popular they were, the more other students wanted to memorize that text. So can you see when Muslims say that this is eternal, and that it's complete, and that it has no word, no letter, it's never changed? History says something completely different. So which Quran do you want me to talk about? Well, I could talk about the Quran of faith, which Muslims can go on for hours about. But I would rather like to talk about the Quran of history.
So, because most Muslims would say that the Quran was revealed to Muhammad through Jibril. What do you think about that?
Well, you want the Muhammad of faith or you want the Muhammad of history?
Okay, you can help us be able to differentiate both.
You were just talking about the Muhammad of faith. That's what Muslims tell you. They have no idea where that story comes from. Some may, the scholars may. So ask your Muslim friend, where does that story come from? That Muhammad revealed, Muhammad
Jibril.
Received this revelation from a man named, or an angel named Jibril, between 610 and 632. And it comes from Sahih Bukhari. Sahih Bukhari is a hadith compiler who compiled all the sayings of Muhammad after just before 870. Muhammad died in 632. And so this is 240 years after the fact that he writes down what Muhammad said. Did he know Muhammad?
personally.
Did he hear Muhammad?
No.
Did he hear one word Muhammad said?
No.
So how did he know what Muhammad said?
I'll say people recited, they memorized, then they recited.
You would hope that that would be it, right? You would hope that someone wrote it down before Al-Bukhari. No one wrote anything down about what Muhammad said.
Okay.
No one wrote anything down about what Muhammad did. Extra traditions that say that. Sahih Bukhari says this. Sahih Muslim says this. You can find this also in Tirmidhi and Ibn Dawud. You can find this also in Majah and Nisai. They all say that this was not written down. No one wrote it. They just pronounced it. Others heard it. They then pronounced it to others, who pronounced it to others, who pronounced it to others. We call that oral tradition. It was basically hearsay. This is what I've heard, and I say to you, you say to the next person, you say to the next person, and this went through 5 to 6 to 7 different generations. Now tell me, is that a very authoritative?
No, we can't. We must have it on paper.
Why do you want it on paper?
Because we can have proof.
Why do you want proof? And what's wrong with oral tradition?
I believe it can be changed.
Oh,
because
okay.
if someone can forget.
Can forget, can change it,
Yeah.
can accrete it, can delete it, can corrupt it, which is what you do in, I don't know if you've been, do you have children?
Yes.
Do you have children's parties where you tell someone something and they tell the next person, they tell the next person, and by about 15 minutes later,
Yeah.
the last person, what they say and the first person are two different things.
We call it broken telephone.
Broken telephone or Chinese
Yeah.
whispers. So this is a fun thing to do, even in our children's parties, and that happens in 15 minutes. If there's that much changes, what happens in 200 years where no one remembers what the other person said? That's the problem with oral tradition. Do we have that problem in Christianity? We have the same tradition. We have the hadith of Jesus, what Jesus said, Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John. They wrote what he said. In many of our Bibles, not this one, the sayings of Jesus are written in red letters.
Yeah.
So we have the hadith of Jesus. Was that all done by word of mouth, oral tradition?
It was written down.
It was written immediately
Yeah.
by those who were right there. Matthew, John was right there. They heard what Jesus said. They saw what Jesus did. And before they died, they wrote down what they heard and what they saw from two different positions. Mark and Luke were the tabi'un. They would be the second generation. Matthew and John would be the sahaba, the first generation, the companions of Jesus. The tabi'un got what they heard and they immediately wrote it down. God made sure that we wrote it down because you don't trust oral tradition.
Yeah.
I don't trust oral tradition.
Yeah.
And when you look at Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John, they're from 4 different perspectives,
Yes.
bringing the truth of what Jesus said and did. That's why we can trust it. Now, when you ask a Muslim, how can you trust what the Sahaba, your Sahaba, wrote? I mean, not wrote, what they said, what they memorized, what they passed on. I go to the world's leading scholar on this. His name is Dr. Yasir Qadi. He lives in Texas. He is responsible for a city called the Epic City, East Plato Islamic Center. It's becoming the first city in America that's going to be truly Islamic. And he has students, and he's highly praised because he has the highest degree in Islam from Medina University, and he has the highest degree in Western academia from Yale University, a PhD. So he has the highest degree from both camps, both, as he calls it, epistemologies.
Okay.
And he said on July 31, so that's just a few months ago, when asked this question, how can you trust what Muhammad said and what Muhammad did? How can you trust those who memorized it and then passed it on and passed it on and passed it on and only wrote it down 200 years after the fact? How can you trust 200 years of this? This is not historically viable.
Yeah.
And his response to that was, you are correct. And he says, I belong in both worlds. Medina over here, Yale University over here. This is the Muslims, this is the West. When I am in the mosque here, he said, I quote from Sahih Muslim, I quote from Al-Bukhari, and Ibn Dawud, in Tirmidhi, in Majah, in Nasai. I quote them, I have no problem. But when I leave the mosque and I come back to Texas or Yale University, I never mention Sahih Muslim. I never talk about it. I never quote to them. Why? Because every Western scholar believes that the traditions, the hadith, and the Surah are discredited. Everyone. Even when he said that, 3 weeks later, on July 31st, he had to explain to his students that. And it's all online. You can go up and see it. On July 31st, says, how can you say that all the Western scholars have discredited? And he says, here's the problem. I live in both camps. I understand both. And he said, over here, we in Islam, we trust it. Why? Because we know that the Sahaba were absolutely truthful. They had no lies. They never, ever forgot anything they said. And what they passed on was 100% accurate. We believe this because we have iman. Now, the word iman in Arabic means belief. It just says faith. It's belief. It is faith. We have faith. And we have faith that not just the not just the Sahaba, but also the Tabi'un and the Tabi'un and the Tabi'un and all the other 6 generations, they were all pure men. They didn't lie. And I'm sitting there and I'm saying, wait? How do you know they were pure? How do you know they didn't lie? How do you know that they've memorized perfectly? Were you there? Did you see them? Did you hear them? How can you tell what they said is what Muhammad said? How can you say what they said about what Muhammad did is actually what Muhammad did? Over here, no wonder we see this is discredited, because nobody trusts what someone says. And how do you dare say that these men were pure? Was Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John pure? No. They had all kinds of weaknesses. They denied Christ as soon as he got arrested. They ran away when he was being arrested.
Was so human.
They are just humans like you and me. And even Peter, when he said, aren't you the one? Aren't you with this man? I don't know him. I know nothing about him. They even denied him in public. These were not pure men. We don't ask them to be pure. We just ask that they write down what they saw and they write down what they heard. That's all we demand. And that's why we can trust the gospel account. That's why we can trust the hadith of Jesus and the Surah, the biography of Jesus from Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John. Listen, Paul never even met Jesus. We can trust what he said, not because he was pure. He was no one got along with Paul. Everybody had problems with Paul. And he had a thorn in his side himself. He admits it. So that's why no one liked to work with him. But that's not what we look for Paul to. We ask Paul, write down what the Holy Spirit's telling you. Write down what Jesus said. And what you take what he says and apply it to Ephesus and to Philippi and to Corinth and to Rome, write it down in letters. And that's why we read the letters. So we trust it because it was written down. So the Bible, see, that's the Bible, the New Testament, is the same thing as the Hadith and the Surah of Jesus. And also the Tafsir would be Paul's letters, and the Tahri would be the book of Acts. So we have the same 4 genres. But they were written down while the men were still alive, before they died. So everything about our Tafsir, our Tahriq, our Hadith, about Jesus was written within 60 years. John would be the last. Everything about what they know about this book, of what Muhammad said, or what Muhammad did, so that's now recorded in the traditions, are written 200 to 300 years later. Thank God we don't have to trust on how beautiful they were, or how trustworthy they were, how pure of heart they were, or whether they memorized it. They didn't have to memorize a thing because it was written down. Why? Because God wanted it to be written down.